In this class, let's learn more about using Annotation Scale. This resource is used for automatically displaying text, dimensions, hatches, and other elements based on the applied scale in the viewport. The annotation scale is not only a scale related to the viewport, but it can also control display based on the selected scale. You have to access the object properties in order to define if an element will be annotative or not in a drawing. In regards to text, you can define the current style as annotative. When applying a hatch, you'll see the annotative option in the hatch and gradient dialog box. You can define an existing dimensioning style as annotative by enabling the annotative box in the Modify Dimension Style dialog box on the Fit tab. The scale icon is used to define if the item will be annotative or not. In Layout 1, you see two viewports created at different scale factors. You can see on the scale definition on the status bar the viewport scale applied to the viewport. You can see there are no changes in the element display, and also the text and hatch in the viewport are configured at a scale factor of 1 to 2. This occurs as the elements have not yet been correctly configured to be displayed in the viewport. Let's check the settings for dimensions. You can see the MISC field and the annotative option on the Properties palette. Notice how they apply an annotative style, but they are not yet configured to be displayed this way. Now let's change the annotative option to Yes. See, now the dimensions are not displayed in the viewport as a 1 to 2 scale factor. Access the annotative scale option to define displayed scale elements on the Properties palette. Click this property to display a screen so you can define the applied scale factors. You can even define the scale factor settings for selected objects or scales common to selected objects, which will be displayed on the list. Perform the same settings for the other elements which have to be displayed as an annotative. When you're in model space and select an object which has been configured for more than one scale factor for it, automatically the other settings will be displayed. You have to pay a great deal of attention when using annotative elements. It's not enough to just enable it. You have to check if the items have been defined for this type of display. Texts, leaders, multi-leaders, hatches, blocks, and attributes are elements which can be configured as annotative. You can insert comments that will be displayed at some different scale factors. So in this class, you've studied some concepts to learn more about annotation scale, and so they can be displayed in the viewport and model space.